The Beetlejuice sequel as a version with ASL, a sign language interpreter, down in the corner available. I've never seen this before. Does anyone know why this is offered? Is there a benefit over closed captioning? So ASL is not related to English, and the structure is completely different. Having an interpreter on screen allows the deaf people who may have limited English proficiency to have full access to the content. ASL and BSL are distinct languages, and not all signers read well at all. It allows for much more nuanced expression and subtext than just text. So people can understand the dialogue in their native language, not a second one, same as all captioning. Barbie also has an ASL version. Captions, for example, in written English, are more useful to people who read well or whom have gradually lost hearing. ASL is the native language for many people born deaf. It is entirely separate from English and has a totally different grammar. Verb first. Talk same Yoda would be valid ASL. Many, not all deaf have English as a second language. Reading comprehension may or may not be very good, as it is all sight word recognition. Reading grammar you have never heard is weird. Deaf kids can't read yet. They want to watch too, lol. There's an entire ASL version of Spring Awakening BTW, it's all over YouTube and very cool. The actors simultaneously sign and sing. ASL is not just English spoken with gestures, it's a different language completely. Having an interpreter is more akin to watching a dubbed movie. It's a bit more comfortable to understand something in your own language than trying to read subtitles in a language you don't speak regularly. Granted, if you went deaf later on in life, it may not be much of a deal. But for people who went deaf before acquiring English fully as a native language, it's a big deal. Understanding intensifies. I wonder what it looks like to see someone sign Beetlejuice now. Not all deaf people can read. My daughter is only 5, so CC are of little use to her, but the person signing is. Text isn't exactly great at conveying emotion or tone like a voice can. Oddly enough, you can through sign language by exaggerating movements or using extra force to show that tone. I still remember watching an ASL interpreter at a local city council meeting, and to show sarcasm, she gave just the biggest cartoon eye roll to show sarcasm. ASL may be someone's first language, not written English. ASL is not signed English, it is an entirely different language with entirely different grammar and sentence structure, so to have the ASL interpretation allows a deaf person to view the film in their native language, where context etc. won't be missed if they were to consume it in their second language written English. Think of it like having an English movie dubbed in Japanese vs having Japanese subtitles. The actual expression of a voice indicates a tremendous amount more information in a story character arc than simply reading the texts and observing the scene. The integration of the two is transformative in how the artistic medium translates to different people. Not every deaf person knows English or the language that corresponds with where they live. ASL and English are different languages. Sure, most deaf people in the US know English in addition to ASL because they read, write, and sometimes lip read. But some are not immersed in hearing culture as much as others, and they may struggle with the subtitles. In that case, even if you used ASL to fingerspell a word that you didn't know the sign for, they might not know what word it is, because they've only seen it signed, not spelled. Wow, some TV shows used to have that when I was a kid. Beetlejuice sequel has a version with French dubbing. I've never seen this before. Is there a benefit over reading the English subtitles? ASL is a unique language with its own vocabulary, grammar, phonology. There's an ASL translated version because people want to watch the movie in their first language. Very much. Because CC can be deplorable. I watch shows where I miss the majority of the dialogue because the CC lags so badly even on streamers. Live broadcasts are just as bad with CCs. Also, have you seen this done before? I'm wondering why BB and why it took until now for this to be an option. I get why it's better to have ASL, I'm just wondering why it's only just now offered. It's not that I've never seen anything with an interpreter. This is just a first for streaming, or a show at all really. The only other time I've seen an interpreter has been when a GOFT official is on the news giving a hurricane update or something like that.